Welcome, everybody. It is our kickoff coaching session of the year, and I am grateful you're here. I wish you all a happy, healthy, prosperous 2018. I am energized, invigorated, catching up on my sleep from partying through the last 2 weeks of the year with my best friends and my family, celebrating the engagement announcement from my daughter. Yay! And life is great. So I'm feeling great. Very cold everywhere across the country right now. We are not getting snow here in Memphis. The sun is out, but we have had single-digit temperatures in Memphis, which is kind of unusual. And I wish you all a safe passage if you're in one of those states or cities getting snow. Let's jump right to it. We welcomed everybody in, but now we're going to get down to questions, and I have stuff that I've taken from our Facebook group. So those of you who are new here, if you are brand new, if this is your first Ask Stuart Hour, tell me it's your first, because I'm not going to go back and look at the attendee list. Tell me you're here for the first time. If you're here as an invited guest, there were 2 people who were interested in joining boot camp, and I said, hey, come be my guest. Let me know you're here. I promise I won't pick on you. You could just be a fly on the wall and check us out, or you can participate. So I got stuff here from Facebook, stuff here from email, stuff that I want to share too. And I want to go back to the boards here because when we first started up, Karen shared with us that her word of the year, her motivating word of the year is visibility. Visibility. I think if we all adopted that, visibility, and you did your own series of 15-minute meetings, who here remembers us talking about that, the 15-minute meeting secret? Has anybody done that? Have you tried it? Tell me, share it with me. I continue to do it. In fact, today I have a 15-minute meeting with somebody at University of Memphis. I have an idea I want to share, and that's all I did. I didn't put my idea in the email. I just said, hey, Mike, you got 15 minutes for me? Quick conversation. I have an idea. He wrote back, yes. Right? Because 15 minutes, there's a wall. I framed it out. It will end in 15 minutes. It's by phone, and he may like it, he may not, but he's certainly intrigued because I didn't tell him anything about it. Are you doing that? It's visibility. Get out there, meet people, and if you don't have an idea to share, just learn who they are. Right? Carolyn says her word is focus. I like that too. That's on my list too. I have a tendency to get so excited about so many things I want to do and get off track, like squirrel. That focus is an excellent word. Jim is here. Well, hang on. Karen, only my second time. Karen, your second time doing a bridal show. John's in the house. Happy New Year to you, John. And John's word is growth. John is new in the business. I met John at a group travel sales summit and in Cancun. And he's here in boot camp. I welcome you, John. The word is growth. So far we've had visibility, we've had focus, and we've had growth. 3 excellent words. Belvin's here. Welcome, Belvin. I appreciate. Thanks for your New Year's wishes. And Belvin is John's is happiness. Belvin's is scale. Carolyn says there are too many distractions once you turn on the computer. I agree. Never answer emails until I'm having lunch. I agree with you. And I get addicted to the text thing, to the email thing. We get off track, and multitasking does not work. It doesn't work. And don't tell me, ladies, that you guys are better equipped at multitasking. I know you are. But studies show that generally speaking, multitasking makes you less efficient. So I like that idea of only checking your emails at certain times, certain intervals, which means shutting it off. Lynn's word is inspired. Lynn's word is inspired. So that means you want to be inspired, or you want to inspire, or you want to work inspired. Maybe it's all 3. Inspired is an excellent word. To be in this business, you need to be inspired because it takes a lot of energy to talk to people all day long who are either don't know you, don't trust you, don't know who you, don't know why they need you, don't know your value, and convince them of your worth, convince them of your validity, convince them that they should never book without you, and to convince them that where you're going to send them, they're going to love. Takes a lot of energy. You need to be inspired. Deb's in the house. Welcome, Deb. A blizzard in Portland. Yeah, I know. It's going crazy out there. They call it the bomb cyclone, which is a crazy name, right? Gaylor's here. Welcome. Happy New Year. And Cheryl's word is unlimited. Cheryl's word is unlimited. I like that. Why not? Why not have stretch goals? Why not achieve and do things that you never thought possible? It's happened in my life, and if we don't dream it, we cannot achieve it. So I love that word, unlimited. And friends, as you share these words, your word of the year, the word that moves you, that maybe you have written on your whiteboard, that you look at every day, every morning, every night before you go to sleep, and meditate on it and put a plan against it. Share those words, and I will reprint them all on our Facebook page. Maybe they will move you, but wouldn't it be great to see a collection of inspiring words? Cheryl's word is unlimited. And Lynn said all three, so it's inspired in every sense. Gina is focus, boost profitability, increase visibility, and more one-on-one meetings. I love it. So it's really that visibility thing again, too. And profitability, we're going to talk about that because Thelma posted on Facebook. Are you here, Thelma? That she's been asked to create an all-inclusive, everything built-in package for a family reunion, which, friends, is what you know I preach in boot camp. We should never be selling the off-the-shelf, bare-bone, stripped-down product. It should always be a package. So we're going to talk about that. Lori's in boot camp. You are new in boot camp, but I think you've been to Ask Stuart Hours before, Lori. My friend also met you at the Sales Summit. We're going to talk about generic terms and conditions that you may be using for your groups. I will share a couple of things that I use. I'll post them in Facebook too, so you can copy them, so we can share best practices. And Danny posted in an email to me talking about that concept of creating a package and using a net rate that most of us have never been used to using before. It's kind of scary using a net rate. Carolyn says, get outside your comfort zone. Indeed. So here's the thing. Let me just add this, Carolyn. You know, when we say step outside your comfort zone, that's kind of scary because that's implying you're getting into a discomfort zone, right? That it's scary. There's fear. What's out there? Well, let me rephrase it. Why don't you step into or create a new comfort zone? A new comfort zone. So if you're going to go out there and be visible, you're going to make more phone calls and introduce yourself. You're going to ask for 15-minute meetings and get to know other people and want to achieve higher profitability. Then you're going to have to do stuff you haven't been doing, because you know what they say. If you do the same old stuff, you get the same results. So trying new things, learning from others, being inspired, doing stuff that you don't fear doing, but that you know if you do it that first time, it'll be easier. It'll be easier, and it becomes a new comfort zone. Maybe look at it like that. LaDonna's in the house. Happy New Year to you. Good morning. Nancy's word of the year for 2018 is courage. Isn't that a great word? Courage. We need courage in life. We need courage in business, especially when consumers are like, why do I need you? You need to have courage. You need to have courage to ask for the business. You need to have courage to create a price point for a group and be confident. You need to have courage to make a presentation to a boardroom of people who may have a cousin in the business. Why do they need you? That's courage, getting up there and saying, look at me. You need me. I can help you. Nobody's going to do what I can do for you. Courage, great word. Michael's word is focus, focus, focus. Focus on growth, focus on visibility, focus on knowledge. And you guys are here because you're also focused on knowledge. So my hat's off, I'm not wearing a hat, to you all for being here, because this is all about knowledge and getting fired up. Okay? All right, let's dig in right here. I want to talk about this from Thelma. I have a client, and listen, let your fingers do the talking. If you want your microphone turned on, just tell me, hey, Stuart, turn my mic on. I will see it. I will tell you right before I do, so it's not a surprise. And I want to hear your beautiful voice. Let's talk. Who's going to be the first to do it? To ask a question or share an anecdote tell a story. Thelma says, I have a client that's looking into doing a cruise in December 18 for a family reunion on Symphony. Oh my gosh. Symphony of the Seas. Too much coffee. And she wants everything included. Yay! So that's a score right there, friends, that you have a client asking for everything included. You know, whether people ask you or not, friends, I believe they want everything included. If you don't ask for permission to package first, they may say, can you give me a breakdown? And you don't want to give them a breakdown. You need to ask for permission to package first. And I know they're giving you permission here, Thelma, which is awesome. But friends, remember to ask for, and here's what you do. You say, you know what? If you give me permission to create a more inclusive, keyword more, never say all, a more inclusive package, I can create something that has really great high value. And if you want to use these words that I've said a million times, you can say this to your customer. If you allow me to create a package that reduces stress and risk, adds value and convenience, and transforms the whole experience, I will do that, and I think you're going to be very happy. Will you give me that permission? Because then when they ask you to break it down, it gives you a little bit of leverage to say, no, you asked me to create a package, and therefore there's a secret sauce behind my madness, and I cannot. If there's something you don't like in this package, tell me. If there's something we're missing, tell me, right? So pre-hotel, gratuities, insurance, yay. And remember, there's a whole insurance thing there, friends. You can't say insurance included. It's illegal. All right, there's ways of dancing through and around that, right? I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about today, but we've talked about that a lot. They may even need to charter a bus for the group, which is great. I've never booked a family reunion cruise before, so how do I get started with this, having everything included? Well, there's two things here. There's family reunion and there's having everything included. So a couple of quick things, and I'm going to check the boards if you guys have things you want to offer too. So whether it's a family reunion or not, number one, you want to ask for permission and get them to say yes and show them how excited you are that they've given you permission to present it as a package. And I think most people will. First thing you want to do, of course, is call Royal Caribbean and understand what their overcharge policy is, right? Now, I know Royal Caribbean and Celebrity are different cruise lines, but they have generally the same terms and conditions, yes? Generally speaking, not always, of course, different promotions. But if you, Thelma, and for all of you, if you have not yet seen the Ask Stuart Hour I did with Gilda, is it Gilda Romero from Celebrity? She's from their group department, and she revealed a lot of things I never knew about all the special things they can do for groups in terms of what you can include and build in and make private. Like private excursions, like private dining experiences. So many things that can be done that I never knew. And I think somebody had offered that advice on the Facebook page, which is, so I love best practice sharing. So you want to, of course, number one, contact the line and understand the scope of all the things they can do and how much they can take as an overcharge, because obviously you want to build it in and collect it all rather than build it piecemeal. And we've been down this road before, but that's very important. Then you want to go back to your client and you want to do a great, phenomenal job, friends, of qualifying, right? And the first question to ask is not what do you want, but what don't you want? Well, that'll lead to them telling you what they want. But you want to make it all in, man. You want to make it all in. And then you got to go back and sit there and meditate on this, Thelma. And everybody, if I was going on this trip, like close your eyes and walk through the trip every step of the way. What would be awesome to have included? What would always normally have an extra charge that you can build in? Because here's your opportunity, Thelma and travel professionals, to put your markup in, to net down and mark up. Net down and mark it up. Make the money you deserve for doing all this work. And they will love you for it because you're making life easier for them. So if you can create, if they're all flying in or if they're a local, and if you can create a bus to bring them to do all the transfers to the airport back at home or to the cruise ship pier, great. If you can do a transfer of the luggage, give them peace of mind that you're going to have a truck there that's going to transfer all their luggage to the ship, something like that, and back. That's peace of mind. There's so many things you could think of, but make sure the client wants it. And they may not know they want it until you suggest it, right? They may not know that they're going to have to fork over extra dollars. And I did this for my river cruise. You want to build in the gratuities and things like that. It makes life so much simpler. Okay. And then for a family reunion, all right, let me go to the boards here. But I'd like to have a whole discussion about family reunions if you'd like to. Who here does family reunions? We could really dig in on that. Maybe I'll do a module on that for boot camp. Would you like that? You know, family reunions are great because when you go to market it, it may not be a matter of who's going to sign up, because if they do this annually, you always know that maybe a couple people who can't come, but they all go. They just do it. But you need to get it right. You need to know what's worked in the past, and you need what hasn't worked in the past. You need to know the various age groups, and you've got a lot of people to satisfy there. Usually real little kids to grandma, grandpa, probably. So that you need to, most important, pick the right destination. Now, Symphony of the Seas is a cruise ship. You know what they offer. Do they, the kids programs up to bingo, all these things, because you want to make sure everybody's happy. And I really believe that you may need to escort too, by the way, and build yourself in, friends, because things will go wrong. They do on the trip. They just do. You want to be there, and maybe they want to have a cocktail party, a private event where they get together and they have fun games and they tell stories. There's so many things that you may need to coordinate too, a scavenger hunt. And you're going to talk to the cruise line about that too, because they've got a million ideas. And you want to ask your client, what have you done at prior family reunions that we can make sure we have ready? Maybe you need to have board games. Maybe you need to have little cards with everybody's name on it. There's a lot of things you can coordinate for them. You can see what they've done, and they'll give you ideas that you can use for future family reunions with other groups, and you'll give them ideas that maybe they never thought of. You become indispensable. Okay. Karen, here we go. Karen says, at a luncheon recently, I was tempted to call my friend to say I was running late. And would she save me a seat? I put down the phone, realized she needed to take the chance and sit with someone new. I was so happy I did that. Met a great new person. That's very cool. Isn't that great? Is that serendipity? I'm not sure what the word is. That, things happen for a reason. For me, I hate being late. I hate being late. But sometimes when we can't help it, things out of our control, we have to sit back, okay, maybe there's a reason for this, and you met somebody new, and that was the way it was supposed to be. That's an inspiring story. Sometimes we just got to go with it when we don't understand why things are turning out like this. Carolyn says, package deal, woohoo. Yes, package. Now, was there a question you had, or are you just excited about the package? But no doubt, the way to do groups successfully, to pull yourself out of in a competitive marketplace, and for somebody to say, oh, you got it cheaper here, is to create a package. By the way, if you're here for the first time, or if you're visiting as a guest, you're probably wondering, hey, is this guy ever going to change the slide? And the answer is no. Today's show, that's it, because this is a live business coaching show. I'm here for you. It's your agenda. I talk about what you want to talk about, what's on your mind, what's working, what's not. So you can toggle it. If you really want to see me big and bold and beautiful on your computer screen or your phone, however you're watching me, then you can toggle it, because that screen's never going to change. I'm just letting you know. Gina says, I would start by blocking the space for the dates of preference. So in terms of the family reunion, oh yeah, you want to get those dates, because a lot of times they will know when they want to go. They will know when they want to go. And sometimes they have flexibility, sometimes they don't. And in the case where they give you a time period, well, that's great, because then you can see where the best opportunity is. And you guys know what happens with family reunions. 8 out of 10 people say, yeah, I can go that date, and 2 say, no, I can't go that date. And that's just the way it is. You're going to have the group leader, whoever's designated to coordinate this with you, tell you, hey, what are we going to do? And some family reunions, they do it annually, right? The date, they just know when they go, period. There's no question about it. The earlier you can book that, the better, so you get the most amenity points possible. Carolyn says the info is also on their page along with the overgross form. Okay, so we're talking about the cruise line. The info is on their page along with the overgross form. So you'll know what they allow for the overgross to make sure that's enough for you to build in the extra things you're included. LaDonna says, Thelma, Gilda shared that bookings with air included stick at a higher rate than those without. Oh, this is interesting. Thank you for sharing this, LaDonna. That Gilda from Celebrity had shared that bookings that include air have a higher stick rate. So that if you are able to use the cruise line air, you'll have a higher probability of stick rate, which basically means fewer cancellations. So that's a good statistic to keep in mind for all bookings, friends, because sometimes we don't want to do air. Why bother? Well, maybe you should bother, because you'll have higher stick fashion. Plus, you'll also know when they're coming, when they're going, and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? Don't tell me, but I'm not making any money on it. But if you create a package, you can. And you'll get paid for the time you monitor their air and know when they're coming and going. They'll love you for that. Gina says, yes, module for family reunion. Okay, I will do it. Karen says, yes, would like to see you do a module on family reunions. All right, hold on. Family reunions, add. Okay, and I still want to add more information on the survey stuff. Carolyn says, I would definitely escort first-time group. Absolutely. And not only first time, but all the time. Build yourself in. Build yourself in. LaDonna says, I'm hosting my own group on the Oasis of the Seas to the Med in June 19. How do I develop a package price when most hotels and airfare prices are not available yet? Now, that is a great question. Because I've always told you it's never too early to start promoting. Even if it's a save the date. Remember, you guys need to do group launch sequence. It works. Trust me. And I know some of you who have done the group launch sequence have told me it works. But what if you don't have prices and rates yet? So let me tell you what I did. When I started promoting my river cruise, I started almost 2 years prior. And at that time, we were using Amerant Waterways air. They could not confirm the air. Everything else they could. So what I did was I took, and I spoke to Amma about this too. I took that current year's airfare, and I was very plain and open to everybody. I said, this is the, let's just say the 2016 air, and it's possible it will be higher, unlikely lower, but I'm going to factor in, and I think I factored in $300 higher. So I'm going to be conservative and assume it's going to be higher, because I'd rather give everybody a good news story should the air come in lower. And I guessed right. I mean, I guesstimated $300 higher, and it came in, it was only like a little over 100 higher, I believe. So I told everybody the good news, and then I adjusted their price point. So one thing you can do, and no doubt, LaDonna, you're taking a chance, and everybody, you tell me your feedback, that you can look historically what the prices are or what they are currently, and you could create a package and put a markup on it, put a higher number, but tell everybody that, hey, look, this number will change. I have estimated what the cost is going to be because they have not revealed their price points yet. Should there be a swing, I will either reduce the price or increase the price, but I have put in a conservative number and inflated it to try to be fair, so we set expectations. I don't want you, LaDonna, to shy away from promoting it early, to get signups early, because if you're doing such a big, this is a Europe trip. People plan further out. It requires more days. Do you agree? So don't let that stand in your way. And of course, speak with these suppliers and ask them when they will reveal their rates. Now, some suppliers, by the way, will guarantee the current rate if you book it by a certain time, right? If you've seen that before, they'll actually guarantee the current rate for the next year, or else on a certain date, if you don't book it by then you get the new rate. Sometimes they allow you to book that year's rate with a 5% or 10% increase built in. And that's their guesstimate of what it's going to be. But you want to find out when that date is, because most really great suppliers will know when the new rate schedule will come out. But I would be very, very, very upfront with your clients, and they will be grateful. They'll know. They'll get it. It's all right. Hope that helped. Carolyn says, yeah, so if you go to their website and talk to them, Royal Caribbean in this case, they'll tell you what they can do and what the points are. Lynn says, I have an issue to ask you and get the group's input, but I'm not sure if my microphone will work. Well, Lynn, you tell me. I'll keep watching here. If you want me to turn on your mic, let me just see if it shows that you have a mic. Hold on. We're going to check. Let's see, Lynn, if it shows you have a mic connected. It shows you have a mic connected. Doesn't mean it's going to work. So, Lynn, you tell me, and I will turn it on, and it might work. It might not work. One never knows. All right, let's try it. Hold on, everybody. Let's see if this works here. All right, Lynn, we're going to do this. Hold on. Hang on. Lynn, unmute Lynn. Here we go. Come in, Lynn.
Okay, I have my mic turned all the way up. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear, Lynn. Happy New Year. Thanks for being courageous to turn your mic on.
Thank you.
What's on your mind?
Well, this is, I have, in a couple of weeks, I have a meeting coming up, kind of a pre-trip party where everybody gets together, meets each other, and I distribute the travel documents, etc., that kind of thing. This is that Italy trip that I was having such a hard time with early in the year, last year, where I couldn't get the winemaker to commit, but right. he came through late in the year, and I decided to do it with him. So there are only 8 of us, and the winemaker and his wife also have to pay full fare because they couldn't get enough people. So I've spent a lot of money so far, marketing and buying various things. So I wonder, do you have any suggestions for what kinds of, like a small gift basket I can put together for people that won't cost a lot of money? Because my commissions are already quite a lot lower than I was hoping they would be. So I'm looking for something to give out that would be kind of festive. This is a group going to Tuscany. Okay.
And this is this a river cruise? No,
this is a land cruise.
It's a land.
With a winemaker and the winery's customers.
Okay, so you're going to be touring some vineyards and wine tasting.
It's a food and wine trip.
Okay, so here's what's coming to me off the cuff right now. It would be wonderful to give them things that they can use. For instance, and I'm just saying, perhaps a little. I'm just grabbing this off my desk. A little booklet that it might be inexpensive to customize the cover, and you don't necessarily have to, that they could bring on the trip, and they could write down the vineyard, the wines that they sampled, so they could take it home. It's a keepsake, a little book, a travel book, so when they get home, if they see these wines, they remember, oh yeah, we tried this, and we tried it with this cheese, and it's great. Because when you're listening to so many lectures, I find from these experts, the sommeliers, they give you so much information, and I kick myself if I can't write it down to remember, so I can apply it when I get home. That's the first thing that comes to mind. The other, let me see. The other thing would be things that they could use to make life easier on the trip in the hotel rooms. Are you going? Is it going to be cold or is it going to be warm?
It's in March, so it'll be chilly, but I don't know. It won't be warm, but it'll be not too cold, I hope.
Okay. I don't know why this popped into my head. It has nothing to do with doing a wine tour, but little comfy socks, those sort of sock booties that you put on when it's chilly. So when you're back at the hotel and everybody's getting together and talking, everybody shows up with these little cute booties. I'm just coming up with things, or a hat, things that they can bring and use versus a basket of summer sausage that they're going to bring home and either say, oh, this is my favorite, or oh, I don't eat this. Let me check the boards, Lynn, to see if anybody else has any ideas. Hold on there.
Thanks. This is great. I love it.
Okay. Nancy says, oh, I got to put my glasses on because I can't see. Give a gift certificate for your next tour. So a gift certificate for a future trip. Now, I like that. That's nice. That's almost something I would give at the end of the trip to everybody to sort of a bounce back to get them to be a loyal customer. The only thing is it's worthless unless they book something in the future. So keep that in mind. But I love that as a general rule to give some kind of certificate. Lynn, what do you think of that?
I'm not sure. I have to think more about that because this was an expensive trip. And so it would have to be a certificate that was, that they would think was even worth considering.
Okay. Idea. Then we've got a bunch more I'm going to read here. In doing your research and where you guys are going to be touring, maybe there's a gift shop or maybe there's an add-on or something at one of the vineyards, let's say, that you just either didn't know or couldn't build into the price. Perhaps you pre-purchased that. And so what I love about something, if people don't know what the value is of it, but they're getting it, so maybe you can create something that they will get that extra cheese and cracker platter versus paying for it. So think about the things that perhaps along the way they may reach into their pocket. You could say, guess what? Here's your gift certificate. When we get to Tuscany and we get to this place, there's free bottle of wine. There's, something like that. But yeah. Let me read on here. Michael says if she has a container store nearby, they have a ton of little stuff that's great for travel. So different travel containers so they can bring those critical items, whether it's shampoo, whether it's drugs or this kind of stuff or other things they may need. That's Michael's suggestion. Carolyn says perhaps the vineyards and restaurants would kick in to put their advertising in the booklet or screen print a gift bag or T-shirt. I love that. And I know, let's not say only 8 people, by the way, Lynn, because
okay.
listen, look, glass is half full, which is we got 8 because that's 8, right. 8 more than you had before you started, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So what that was, I'm sorry, that was to take out an ad in a program or can you repeat that? I didn't quite
Absolutely. This is from Carolyn. So one of the vineyards or the restaurants that you're visiting, ask them, hey, for a couple of bucks, I can put your logo on the little wine booklet. And there must be a name for a booklet that does that. Or on a coffee mug or on it, whatever item you choose to give out. Perhaps you can collect a few dollars, maybe a little bit from each of the vineyards or from each of the restaurants and put their logos on it. Because if you're going to print on something, it doesn't matter if it's 1 line or 6 lines generally. But I like that idea because that's super duper personalized, and you may get some costs defrayed by that restaurant or by that vineyard. They may say, sure, I'll give you $100, put my logo on stuff, Great.
I love the idea. I think it might be difficult to do it for this trip, but I love the idea and would definitely use it for future trips.
Good. That's great. Thank you, Carolyn. Let's see. Karen says, I specialize in culinary tours. I would suggest a unique wine opener or chocolates, some of the new converters, the phone converters. That's a great idea too. So there's 3 different ideas here: a wine opener, chocolates, or one of the new converters, because that's always an issue for people. Can I plug my phone in? Can I charge it? This kind of stuff. Carolyn says a tote bag. Gina says ask the winemaker for small things from his vendors, like corkscrews. Yeah. So either the suppliers who are involved with the restaurants, they may have, what's the word, tchotchkes? Lynn is the word tchotchke. They may have tchotchkes, and you could, and maybe they won't ship it to you here because I know you want to give it out during this meeting. But you could tell them, hey, when you get there, we're gonna have a little gift bag for you because we got this from this guy, this from this vineyard. And Lynn, all you're doing is asking. They can say no, but what if they said, as a matter of fact, I got 8 such and such sitting in the back there. Sure, we'll give them out to your guests. Great idea.
Yeah.
Carolyn says gift card to a restaurant.com to say thank you. Yeah, actually, restaurant.com is interesting. I've given that as gifts. I've used it, but you can buy a gift certificate, and you can use that for when they get home from the trip and they're exhausted, right, Lynn? And nobody wants to cook because people have been cooking for them for a week or 2 weeks. Some kind of gift certificate so when they get home to make life a little easier. Sam, hey Sam, says I don't do gift baskets, but I do give each person a gift which is very popular for the first-time clients, and that's a digital luggage scale. It costs about $10 to $20 on Amazon. What do you think of that, Lynn?
Well, I'm glad to hear it's popular. I have one of those, and I almost never use it. So I can see where it could be very useful.
Yeah, it could be. Marissa says I've purchased a book titled "All the Wines of Europe" to my Wine Cruise members. Very inexpensive on Amazon, around $10. There you go. A book that talks about the wine or the geography or the city, the history. I think that's a great idea as well. Something that connects them to the destination, that prepares them. So when they get there, they're better prepared to get everything out of it culturally. Thank you, Marissa. Michael says, ask the wine guy to provide a certificate of some kind to his store or winery. Absolutely. And I know your guys are already paying because they didn't hit the numbers, but maybe they already have promotional stuff, Lynn, that they can give out. Let's see here. Marissa says it's a journal for them, a journal to record wines from tastings and meals that they've enjoyed on their travels. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word journal. Let's see. Michael says, I've also produced photo books of our travels for people I've traveled with. So that would be an after gift too, which means either you need to bring a photographer, Lynn, or you or somebody needs to sort of be the designated photographer, or have everyone send you their best pictures, and then you give them back some kind of a travel book that so people say, hey, listen, don't take pictures of yourself, take pictures of everybody else, then we're going to share. So you'll all have pictures of you guys having fun. We did that on the river cruise, and it worked. Gina says, call it a travel journal. I love that idea also. Ask the wine person going. So that's the journal. Cell phone chargers, Carolyn. Deb says, I give a collapsible tote. Is it collapsible? And power banks for charging. RIFD wallets. I don't know what RIFD means, Lynn? No.
I think that's what block those are the things that block those RFID what do you call it, waves that can either destroy is that the one that can either destroy your electronics or read your credit cards through your wallet or something like that? I'm not sure.
We'll find out. We'll see what Deb says. But yeah, I like that. Let's see. Or totes, of course. It's just sometimes people have their favorite backpacks or tote bags to travel with, especially for a trip like this. So that's a tough call, I think. Because I know me, I'm really picky with the tote that I bought, that I use, but it might work. Carolyn says, right, for restaurant.com, for $4 you can buy a $25 gift card. So they don't know you paid $4. They think you paid $25, and it's a great gift, and you didn't put out that much money. Karen says, it sounds good to ask the winery and the restaurants to ask for co-op. I would think the execution of it would be challenging to collect the monies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
With everything, right, Lynn, there's a task. Carolyn says you're going to give a luggage scale on geek.com. It's even cheaper. So it sounds like it's something that you keep searching, especially on geek.com, you can get for low cost. Carolyn says, call the tourism bureau for information on destinations. Use Okay, use Mixbook, Mixbook, to make travel books for guests. So maybe you can actually custom make this book so it has the name of the program and has the Vineyards logo on it too. It's called Mixbook. That's a new one
Cool.
on me. Thank you. Look at this, Lynn.
Yeah,
Aren't
this
you
is
glad
great.
you asked?
I don't want to take over the whole call though, so maybe we could continue in the forum or something, because
Okay.
I'm sure lots of people have lots of questions, but I
Yep.
love it. Thank you.
All right. So I'm gonna put you back on mute. How's that?
Great. Thank you so much.
Lynn, thank you for being courageous, put your mic on. Take care. We're going to post all these things on the Facebook group. I will.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Lynn.
Bye.
Okay, Lynn is muted. So let me just read these real fast because they're great. Karen says most of our clients on a trip to Tuscany this year took a picture with their iPhone of the wines they liked best. And I like that. These are great suggestions so everyone maximizes their experience. Lori says a travel bottle of wine stain remover for the klutz in all of us. I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea, Lori. Thank you. Patty says a large retiree organization. Oh, wait, that's a new question. Okay. Oh, this is that RIFD, whatever it was. Right, cannot be scanned for ID and steal your credit card info. So, and Deb confirmed, Lynn, that that's what that is. It blocks anybody from taking credit card number and passports. So, and I think that may have happened to me, everybody, because I had my credit card first time in years compromised, and it was just nasty, right? So, and Deb says those totes are a roll-up, which are great for shopping. Okay, so let me go back here to a new question. I want to thank everybody for sharing, and I love this about best practices, which inspires ideas. And I'm so thrilled we have such a great group on today, our first kickoff. I know you're all busy. I know you're all busy kicking off the year. So let me hold on. I'm looking for travel bottle of wine. Hold on. I'm going to find it. Here it is. Patty, listen, everybody. A large retiree organization is looking for a new agent to handle their annual group trips. The other one retired. They approached me to set up an Alaska cruise for September 18, but was only given 3-day notice to provide them with pricing information and go out in their newsletter. Oh my gosh, really? They didn't allow me to package. But moving forward, when I present the cruise to the group, I would like to hand out a survey to see where the members would like to travel in the future to allow me to be proactive in presenting trip options to them where I can build a package. I'm looking for examples of trip interest surveys to give me an idea, i.e. cruise, river cruise, location, time of year, length of trip, etc. I need something to help me understand my potential travelers' needs. So there's two issues here, Patty, and I'm glad you shared this, which is, here's a gift. I don't want to say a gift, but obviously you earned the opportunity to have been handed this to take over their cruise. But at the same time, they give you 3 days, which is not a lot of time. And I don't want to get involved in the details of it. If you could have said, if they would have accepted, no, if you want me to do it the right way and give you a more inclusive package, then I'm going to need 7 or 10. I don't know. The bottom line is you did at the time the business decision you thought was the best thing to do. And I'm still hoping, though, that you can go back and represent, because you know as well as I do that they're going to end up booking excursions, this, that, and the other thing. So many other things out of their pocket that are going to be extras. Maybe you can still create a more inclusive package for them so they get to see what you do, which will set you up for the next trip. So they know you're a packager. Start establishing yourself, if I may be so bold, as a packager. That's how you build your brand. When they call Patty, you know you don't get the stripped down product. You know you get a package, and it makes life easy. She's great. So I would definitely start building your brand now. Now, when it comes to doing the survey of asking, of course, the one thing I would definitely ask is their history, because clearly this adult retiree community sounds like they've traveled before. So you want to sit down and you definitely want to find out what was good, what wasn't good, where they loved going, where they've been, what they didn't love, and where they want to go. So, I could spend a lot of time brainstorming questions here because people are surveyed out right now. Every time I have a customer service call or a company I do business with, or I purchase a product, everyone wants my feedback. Well, you know what? If you did a great job, that's what I expect. So I don't need to tell you that. I don't need to pat you on the back every time you do something well, because you're supposed to. Now I know they want feedback and they want to catch me. They want to catch me if I'm about to post something bad online or tell my friends and family that they messed up. So they realize that 9 out of 10 times they'll get no response, but that one was the person who was unhappy and they want to be there. So I get that. In your case, this is sort of a discovery. You want to get to know them. And I believe if you put it in this sense that it's about you getting to know them, where they love traveling, where they've been, where they want to go, where their dreams are, it will work. You don't want to make a long survey. You can do it in different parts and sections. You could do it first. The first one, 1 or 2 question survey. Oh, no. Go back to my 1 question survey idea. Listen to me. Listen. So you can do a 3 or 4 or 5 part survey, but there's 1 question each, and you could tell them that. Make it simple. But you want to learn. You want to learn what they love to do, who they are, and they're going to love that about you, that you're interested. So the first question could be, I'm just saying, check all the boxes for destinations you'd love to visit, and you can list 10 different destinations. You could be as specific as you think you need to be, okay? And at the bottom, list other. So people will type in places they want to go, and then you can analyze those results first. That's round 1. Where do you want to go? 1 question survey. Click all the boxes you want. It's a trick survey. And the next one, of course, you want to tell them all the percentages of responses. And then when you have a general idea of where they want to go, you can ask the next level question. What do you want to do there? What do you want to do there? So I would say, Patty, rather than just go start asking a million questions, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Everything all in one. I would sort of filter it as if you're qualifying a client, because you are. You're qualifying not just one, but dozens and dozens, and I don't know, is it 50 or 100 or 1,000? You're qualifying all of them, and you're going to share the results so everyone sees where all of them want to go, and you're making them part of that process too. You tell me where you want to go, you tell me what you want to do, and I'll make it happen. Tell me if that helps at all. And I don't know if you're looking for specific questions, but more of a conceptual type survey. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Okay, let me go back to the question board here. Karen says, can talk about bridal show. Karen, do you want your microphone on to talk about the bridal show? Or do you want to talk about it right now? Bridal show, I get ideas from her. You tell me what you want to do. Karen says also, I'm thinking she needs to spend lots of time talking to the guy who contacted her and ask as many of those questions as possible. Only then send the group afterwards. So the survey is what you're saying. So Karen is suggesting to you, Patty, see if you can hook up with that person who was the group leader or the travel agent before. Maybe they'll share. You want as much information as possible so that you don't make any of the same mistakes that they may have done, and you come into this with a tremendous amount of knowledge so that you win and they love you. Okay. Patty says, thank you. Okay. Karen says, open my mic. There we go. Okay. Karen, I'm going to open up your mic. How exciting this is. All right. Hold on, Karen. I'm going to unmute Karen, right? Hello, Karen. You're on the air. Karen. We can't hear you. Oh, no. I'm going to leave it open, Karen, while you finagle and fix and push buttons at your end. But according to my situation here, it shows you're green. But we can't hear Karen. Oh, no. I'll leave it open for another minute. And LaDonna says surveymonkey.com has plenty of question examples to help with surveys, but I like your one question, multiple survey ideas. Yeah, LaDonna, that's what I talk about all the time. Those are the only kind of surveys I do, is the one question survey. When people see it's a one question survey, okay, how long is it going to take? But it's sort of a trick survey, right? Because you're getting a lot more information. Let me see here. Karen, I don't think it's working, Karen. I don't think it's working. I'll leave it open for another minute while you fidget over there. And I'm going to keep going through here. Nancy says, have found the answer for Amtrak. Thanks. Can you recommend some time management techniques to bring into the new year? I'm a bit overwhelmed with outreach, marketing, operations, and have had a few people, including a 19-year-old that has offered to help, but I don't know how to utilize their services. I haven't been an employer. Actually, oh, your furnace just went down, Nancy. Oh, no, but the furnace guy is there. So this is time management stuff. I got to tell you something. Maybe we can, I'll post some stuff on Facebook, and we can kick this off at the next session too. Give you some of my personal time management tips that I use. Let me put my brain on now. I'll give you a couple right now, but I think Nancy had to step away, which is much more important to get that heat going, for crying out loud, right? And hold on. And Karen says, my side shows green light too. Yeah, we just can't hear you, Karen. I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to unmute you for now, and maybe offline we'll connect. We'll do a test run, and we'll figure out what's going on. I don't know. I just muted you. That's kind of weird. I'm so sorry. So hang on. Before we do that. Oh, yeah. So Carolyn says prioritize. So that was one quick point that she said prioritize in terms of time management. Absolutely. But before I go to your question, Nancy, I want to address Karen about her bridal show. So I want to know, have any of you worked a bridal show? Do you have any suggestions of what to do, what not to do about working bridal shows? So while you guys are typing, I want to just tell you, Karen, and again, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it didn't work. But you and I, let's connect offline, and we'll figure out technically what happened. You know, one of the most important things at a show is that you got people walking by. Why should they stop? So whatever, the visual needs to be important, and people can't feel like if they step into your booth or go in front of your booth, they're going to be attacked, right? So, and I'm talking basic stuff here for any kind of a show. So you definitely want to have an arresting visual or poster or stuff on the table that looks interesting to them, knowing why they're there. Obviously, it's a bridal show, so you're there, of course, because you've got great honeymoon ideas, I would imagine, unless you're there for destination wedding things. So my guess, it's probably more honeymoon. I'm not sure, because if they're going to a bridal show, they probably already have the wedding set. Now, and it's not about, so I'm just rattling off some stuff. It's not about you giving out cards. Of course, that's easy. But what do they do with it when they get home? It's you about collecting a card. They may not have a business card, but they will certainly have a name and either a phone number or an email address. So what you want to do is give enough information to intrigue them that you have really creative, fun, great ideas. It's not about price. It's about putting together the most magical, perfect, more inclusive honeymoon. Now, you're going to have some people, of course, they want to go to Niagara Falls for their honeymoon. Some who want to go to the Caribbean, some to the West Coast, some on a cruise, some to Europe for 3 weeks. So unless you know the demographics of those brides to be showing up, then you may have to have, you know, different sections on your table. If you like adventure, if you like R&R, just beach and sand and ocean, if you like exploration, because maybe there's some honeymooners who want to go to explore and do wine tasting. And then you got this, every couple I would imagine has different expectations. So I don't know if you have plans on that, segmenting a little bit. So it shows you're not doing the same thing every other agent would do, which is put out, you know, cruise line brochures or just put out pretty flyers. You see what I'm saying? So on your table, what if you had sections? And I know it's just coming up, so I don't mean to mess you up, Karen, but this is what I see that would attract me, saying, oh, well, no, I don't want an adventure honeymoon, but I do want a culinary experience. I do want a place. I want to go someplace that's great food. Now you've got my attention. Where would you send me? Where can I go? You know, something like that. And you want to collect names and email addresses and just ask, hey, can I send you my PDF? I have a PDF that has the 10 most important tips when booking your honeymoon, or what to do on a honeymoon. Well, we won't talk about that. But you know what I mean? So you always want to tell them that you're collecting their email address for a very specific purpose, because they don't want to be put on another mailing list. But if you tell them, hey, if you give me your email address, I will send you my PDF of top 10 tips. Or if they want adventure, my adventure ideas. If they want culinary, my culinary ideas. So you need to trigger for follow-up. Because if you leave there with no opportunities for follow-up, and you're going to go home and just sit by the phone and wait for the call, you might be waiting a long time. You also don't have time, luxury of time, to engage people. There's very little time at a show. You want to have a quick conversation. They're itchy. They want to go. And all those people walking by, you're missing, right? So have that trigger for follow-up. And giving something free, helpful information is a great way. Tell me if that helps. I don't know. We've got 5 minutes left. I want to get to, all right, we didn't get to dive in here about terms and conditions for groups. Now, so on my site, anybody want to chime in here? Of course, the most important terms and condition is that all of the supplier, you don't want to say the word supplier. Of course, you're going to substitute the name Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, or whatever it is. Terms and conditions apply, and you want to put a link. So I did this on my Facebook page. So if you guys have seen or haven't seen my River Cruise group Facebook page, it's still there. I'll give you the link if you need it. I didn't reprint because I didn't want to make a mistake of reprinting Amarant Waterways terms and conditions. What if they change, or what if I miss something? Then I'm in trouble. So I just put the link. All terms and conditions from Amarant Waterways apply. Click here, review it. And of course, with any cruise or any trip, the supplier usually needs a signature, right? A signature that they agreed to, cancellation policy, all this kind of stuff. Now, I didn't layer on too many more, but what I did was I had my own deposit, payment, and cancellation schedule. So every invoice, every piece of information, I always put my cancellation program, which was different from the cruise line. So you may choose to have that too. So a couple of quick things I want to tell you that I included also, which was I made sure in writing that the travel protection is non-refundable. You don't assume they know this, but when they pay it, you guys know this, but they may not. Travel protection is non-refundable. Every terms and conditions, the passport to protect me, okay, from errors or omissions, I put your passport, the name you've provided and the birth date must be an exact match that you're providing to the line, or especially to the airline, or else you're not getting on the flight. And your passport must be valid. Is it 9 months or 6 months prior, whatever the number is, I don't remember. So all these things that you know could go wrong, I actually included in my terms and conditions, including my cancellation penalty. You know, I didn't really go much deeper than that. I'm going to go back and look, friends, but what do you include? Because what else must you include in addition to the supplier terms and conditions? You tell me, because my brain, I know we got 2 minutes left. I know I'm missing something. Okay, here we go. Karen says, and here we go. There's 2 minutes. We're going to wrap up. Just stick with me, friends, because I want to read what Thelma wrote too. Thelma's here. Thank you, Thelma. Just created an amazing banner. So this is for the bridal show, for visual appeal. One thing I learned many years ago was not to ask someone to fill in a form to win, because once you do, you lose their eye contact. I agree. Great, great, great. Rather than ask the question, where is he taking you on your honeymoon? She likes to ask the question, where is he taking you on your honeymoon? We're all also asking when they are getting married. So, right, you want to ask engaging questions. Have a conversation. If the wedding is in 2018, we are handing out invites to a Caribbean night on January 16th. Great idea. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, you have an event planned so you can keep the dialogue going. And even if they can't go, they'll remember that you're active. You're doing stuff there. I love it. Have the follow-up set up for next 6 months between emails, direct mails, and events. I'm not sure I know what that means. Have the follow-up set for next 6 months. Right, but the whole idea is to get as many names and phone numbers or email addresses that you can send something to. You want to get it because you want to send them that invitation to the event. Don't just tell them about it and tell them to go to a website and sign up. No. And you want to capture their name and email to make sure you get them signed up. And tell them, listen, if you can't come, let me at least send you the I don't know if you're going to record it, Karen. Can you tape it? Can you record it? Let me send you the recording, or let me send you the special report PDF, because we're giving that out free. If you can't come to my event in January, I'll send this to you. There's got to be something, a trigger for them to say, yes, you need to have my email address, Karen, and I want this information, and you're kind of cool. You're kind of cool because because you're taking a proactive approach. You're not trying to sell me something. Right now, all you're doing is you're selling me information. You're selling me your help, and I need help because I don't want to make a mistake with this honeymoon. So this is great stuff. All right, stick with me. We're in the winding few seconds. Thelma says, yes, I want the link to the River Cruise page. You got it. I will put it again on my Facebook page so you can see my Facebook River Cruise page and my page on my website. They're sort of offline, but they're online. I'll give you the link. Karen says I paid an extra $57 from the show company to get the bride's contact information. That's great, but listen to me, Karen. Then you're just another spammer, and I say that with all due respect and love. But almost everybody else could have done that too. If I'm not mistaken, that the people you shake hands with, the people you meet there, those are the opportunities. But for them, they're going to end up getting 1,000 emails after that show. You know that, right? But I think you did great. You got to use it. You got to do it, because I believe to make the sale, starting a relationship, it could take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 contacts. So it's good, but it all happens at the show. Friends, we're out of time. I'm glad you joined. Great session. Deb says thank you. This was great. Hey, everybody, sign up for January 18th. I am grateful you're here. A happy, healthy, prosperous 2018.